Hey guys, welcome back to Andy's Dinosaur Reviews, and today we have a really cool Jurassic Park set from Mattel as we are going to dive deeper into the 93 Classic line. We've already taken a look at the Red Rex here on the channel. If you missed that review, definitely check that out because it is a phenomenal release on the part of Mattel. Absolutely loved that. But this time we've got the Dr. Alan Grant Tactical Claw Pack, and as you can see, we've got some pretty cool stuff in this set as we've got a very Kenner-inspired paint job on a Gallimimus. We also have a juvenile Velociraptor and, of course, Alan Grant. As you can see, the box art is incredible. I think one of the most impressive things about this new 93 Classic line is the box art because they're always just so beautiful, so nostalgic, and definitely very Jurassic Park and very Kenner-like, and that's absolutely what we see on the box art of the Alan Grant set. Here on the side, you can just see, some of the vegetation, of course, the sunset and the Jurassic Park logo, and same thing over there. And then here on the back, again, in classic Kenner sort of style, we have the images of the other toys that are available, one of which we've reviewed already. The others will be up for review here on the channel in the immediate future. And then, of course, we have the stuff that is contained within this set. So let's go ahead, pop the box open, and check it out. So we've got our Alan Grant right there. We've also got our Gallimimus right there. And then our little juvenile Velociraptor, as well as all of the fun extras. And if we reposition the camera, which might make sense, you can now see everything, the big pile of extras that we have in here. And again, really awesome. I will say, though, that they didn't exactly make the packaging as collector-friendly as they did with the Red Rex, where it was a little easier to get the Red Rex out. I did mess my packaging up this time around, which is a bummer. I may end up buying the set all over again just to keep the other set in the packaging, but I may just try to fix this packaging up. But it did rip a bit when I was trying to open it. I don't know, maybe I'm just not smart enough to handle this packaging in a collector sort of a way, but everything here looks super cool, and I'm beyond excited to dive into it right now with you guys, so let's jump to that closer look and get to it. So if we begin with Alan Grant, you can see that unlike the Kenner Jurassic Park line, the likeness of Alan Grant of Sam Neill is pretty darn good, as you usually find from Mattel. It looks, pretty much like Sam Neill does. You can see that as far as the outfit goes, we've got a nice shirt here, a nice blue shirt. We've got some silver running down the center where the zipper would be. And then moving down, you've got some green pants. You can see the belt buckle itself is painted out. And then as you move down, you've got some brown boots. So some, paint variation, of course, through the course of his outfit. Not a whole lot going on as far as that goes, but I don't really expect a whole lot. You can see we have a nice hat on the head of Alan, as we usually do. Is it removable? No, it is not. It is not removable. It stays on there. But you can see again that the facial area of Alan is painted very nicely. The eyes are painted, the eyebrows are painted, and of course his hair is painted. And we do have articulation in the neck. I could tell that immediately as I was trying to remove the hat. And of course it could probably swivel all the way around, even go forward and back a little bit. As you move down, again, you've got a nice pocket on the front of his shirt. Nice kind of creasing and everything on the shirt to make sure it looks very realistic. We have more articulation moving down as you can move the arm forward and back in the shoulder and elbow joint. You can see that right there. We can also come out away from the body, which is a plus, adding that extra bit of articulation. As you move down a little further, you have a swivel here in the hip region of Alan. To give you, again, more articulation, you also have the legs forward and back, and then out away from the body for those splits when he joins his cheerleading league. And then you can also see that we've got knee articulation, and those areas as well can swivel, so you can get some nice posability pretty much everywhere on your Alan. And as you move down the pants, you can see, again, just like with the shirt, lots of really nice lifelike fine detail with creasing and everything going on, pretty much, like what we had seen in the shirt, pretty much exactly as you would expect when it comes to pants and everything, the type of stuff you usually see. And you can also see the boots are very nicely sculpted and painted. No paint for like the shoelaces or anything, but they still look really good. So the Alan is definitely a really cool variant of Alan, not too far off from what we usually get, but, very Kenner Jurassic Parkish, that's for sure. The Gallimimus as well is definitely a cool looking figure. I believe this is the same sculpt that we've had prior, but definitely a little bit different as far as of course the paint job and everything. But as we lead up here to the head of the Gallimimus, and I try to get my camera to focus on it, you can see that we have some really nice blues here running along the upper part of the head. I also love that they've kind of outlined the eye with the yellowish tone, or that yellowish brown is what I should say. And then we have a really nice big black eye with a nice gloss coat to it, and the gloss coat looks great, the black eye looks great. I think that's perfect for the figure and just looks super realistic, honestly. Really nicely done on the part of Mattel, and that is incredibly precise paintwork. It looks absolutely as perfectly placed as it could possibly get. And just that little area of the, again, that light brown circling around the eye just makes such a world of difference, I think, for the appearance of the head of the Gallimimus. And of course, the detailing looks great as you move through. As you move down the course of the neck, we continue to have that blue running along the back. You also see those reddish tones kind of mixing there within. Again, very Jurassic Park, very Kennerish as far as that goes. And I'm not saying Jurassic Park the movie, I'm saying Jurassic Park the toy line. But you can see all kinds of creasing and everything in the neck as far as the skin detail as you move down. You also have articulation in the neck, so you can move the head down and the head up quite far. A little jerky as far as the articulation goes. You can see it's not super smooth. It kind of just jerks as you go, like, piece by piece, but it works pretty nicely. You can definitely get some really nice areas of posability pretty much anywhere you would like. And does it swivel? Yes, it absolutely does swivel as well, so you've got that going on. As you move down, you have more of that reddish tone there moving along the back, but at this point it seems like the reddish tone has become the primary body color, and the blue now is like the lesser of the two colors. As the red kind of leads down here, you can see it transition very smoothly to the brownish tones, but you can see the blue kind of just stripes and designs and splatters all over the top of the dinosaur, which also looks really nice. We have more articulation in the arm. You can move the arm back, you can move the arm forward, and you can also move it out away from the body. Pretty much your standard when it comes to articulation on these type of figures. I wouldn't mind seeing some elbow articulation on these, but we do still have some pretty good articulation regardless. As you move back here a little bit further, you can continue to see that red and blue leads out here toward the tail, but does end before we reach the tail. You can see once we actually hit the tail area, it is gone completely, and we only have that brownish tone of the body color left at that point. Leading down through the course of the leg, again, you of course have the classic Mattel skin texture, really nice fine detail, everything you come to know and love from Mattel. As you lead down into the foot sculpt, you can see we do have kind of a gloss coat for the nails, but no actual paintwork for the nails. There is definitely a speckling to the figure, though. You can see that pretty abundantly through the course of the figure all over the place, and then again leading out into the tail. But you also have articulation of the legs, forward and back. Really, really nice posability as far as this one goes. You can completely loop the legs around, and on top of that you can also articulate the legs out away from the body, which is pretty cool. And then you have a swivel tail out there to polish it off. I will say the tail is actually super flexible, like really bendable, as are the arms, of course. So the Gallimimus is awesome, it really is. And just to give you a quick look here at the opposing side of the body, you can again see the head sculpt looks great. You can see that the paintwork as well looks great in that area. And then of course it's going to look pretty consistent through the rest of the Gallimimus, not really too much difference going on. Let's go ahead and pull the scan code out for you guys to, wrong side, scan this if you would like to add it to your collection. There you go, you can grab yourself the Gallimimus, but definitely a really cool Gallimimus. Absolutely love this new addition to the Mattel Gallimimus flock. And then we've also got ourselves a little juvenile Velociraptor, which is really cute, really cool, and definitely the type of figure that I would have expected to have seen in an old Kenner set, which is another reason why I like it so much. But you can see the head sculpt looks pretty nice. Nothing too amazing, nothing too flashy, but pretty decent. There is definitely some sloppiness in the paintwork of mine. You can see the paint of the eyes, a little bit missed its mark. It's not great, but it doesn't look terrible. We basically have a light green for the body color, and then we have a darker green running along the top from the head there to the tail, again approaching the tail there, and then it disappears in typical Mattel fashion. But the eyes are painted with nothing more than a yellow. And you can see the same over here, but this side we actually do kind of have it painted where it looks like there's a pupil, even though the pupil is actually just the green body color. But it doesn't look bad. It's just this eye looks really bad because it's super sloppy. But the head sculpt looks nice. The texturing of the skin's pretty decent. As you move down, you can see the arms are held up into the body in kind of a nice natural way as far as what you would see on a Jurassic Park raptor. You have some nice muscle definition in both the arms as well as the thighs and calf right there. You've got some decently sculpted fingers. Again, no nail paint, but I really wouldn't have expected nail paint on something like this. You've got a nice looking foot sculpt. Again, you can see the sickle claw and everything there for our raptor. It kind of looks like we might have some speckling on this one as well, but not quite as abundant as we had seen on the Gallimimus. And then you lead out, you have a nice curve there for the tail, nice kind of a natural looking curve, nothing over the top, and the detailing on the underside also looks pretty decent. There is like a little area right here where it kind of looks like some of the plastic was like pulled apart or something, but that's just a little minor issue with this one. But definitely a pretty fun little extra. I'm pretty happy to have this little raptor because he's quite adorable. But you've got kind of like a little snare here where you can push this and it extends and you can grab your dinosaur and, you know, lasso it basically with this. And again, you've got some really nice paintwork for it, nothing over the top. You have a nice light green here, nice darker green here, nice detailing throughout as well, which is pretty cool. Again, I almost dropped it, but definitely something that I am not surprised by because Mattel usually does a great job as far as the actual fine detail of their products goes. Definitely the same case with that. Then we've also got this one here, which is even more of a Kenner throwback because it's got like the, you know, string to latch onto your missile so you don't lose it, and you would basically put it in there. We will test it out here in a moment, and then shoot it out to, again, basically hook, I guess, your dinosaur with this, or you might be killing it with that, depending on how hard and how fast it comes out. But yet again, you can see as far as your actual launcher goes, it looks really good, really, really nicely detailed. Similar greenish tone for the majority of this, except for we have a bluish tone now for our actual, you know, grappling hook there. But you can see, again, everything looks really good as far as a detailing standpoint goes. And again, like I said, an absolute throwback to Kenner, no doubt about that. We've also got some binoculars here for Alan. We also have a vest here for Alan. So really going above and beyond to give you a lot of extras in this set. And then on top of that, we also have capture gear for our Gallimimus, and that is the icing on the cake, because anytime capture gear is introduced, it doesn't get any more nostalgic than that, because that's something that we all know and love. If you are a fan and a collector of the Kenner Jurassic Park line, that is absolutely something that not only do you love, but we greatly miss. And again, really cool to have this stuff included. So I'm pretty excited to actually get all of this stuff on the figures themselves. So let's do that and check them out from there. So there we have everything put together and looking absolutely epic. And I must say the Gallimimus looks so cool with the capture gear on. I really, really am keeping my fingers crossed in a major way that the 93 Classic line doesn't end with these releases. I really want to see a lot more of this stuff because it's honestly my favorite stuff I've ever seen released from Mattel. Definitely loving this. Of course, you know, I grew up a Jurassic Park collector, so that's why it's really going to appeal to me probably more so than, you know, newer fans that are more of like Jurassic World collectors. But I absolutely adore this stuff, and just the visual of the Gallimimus all, you know, chained up in capture gear is just so super nostalgic and so awesome of a way to display it. And then, of course, Alan has all of his stuff on now. He's got the vest. He also has his binoculars, which is pretty fun to have that stuff on there. Then, of course, we also have the weapon here with that kind of grappling hook. So we'll go ahead and launch it at our Gallimimus here as soon as I figure out where we push the button on it. I think it's going to be this. Well, we just kind of raised it right there in the face. We did knock over the raptor, but we kind of punched it right in the face with the grappling hook. Get that back in there. And you can see, again, it definitely shoots really nicely. Really, really awesome to have that string on it as well, so I don't lose it and I don't smash any of the stuff over here to the side of me, because I really have a bad habit of doing that like all the time. And then, of course, you also have the ability to kind of extend this to grab your dinosaur and lasso it, you know, like this, bring it back in. And that as well is a pretty cool addition to this set. Definitely lots of really fun playability as far as this set goes, and of course, just in general, some incredible nostalgia to go with it when it comes to anybody that might have been a collector of the Jurassic Park line. So kids nowadays can love and enjoy this stuff, but of course, it's, I would say, mostly focused toward adult collectors that may have been Jurassic Park collectors, and that would be, of course, most of us. So as far as the size goes, I don't think we really need to measure much of this, but we'll do it anyway. You can see the human figure Alan is about the 3 3/4 inch range, of course, or around 9.5 centimeters. The Gallimimus height is about 4.5 inches, or around 11.5 centimeters, approaching 12. The length department would be about 7 inches or around 18 centimeters. And then for our little tiny juvenile raptor, you were looking at about the 2 3/4 inch range, or around 7 centimeters. And then height-wise, just shy of about 1.5 inches, or around 3.5 centimeters, approaching 4. For a size comparison, there is Mr. Papo T-Rex, the Attack Pack Colovosaurus, and Robert Muldoon from the Mattel Jurassic World toy line, next to this awesome 93 classic Alan Grant Tactical Claw Pack, and you can see everything is pretty much where you would expect it to be size-wise. Nothing that's like a major surprise or super crazy or anything going on with this set of figures. Again, pretty much everywhere you would expect the size to be, it is exactly that. I don't feel like we need a million comparisons this time around because we've had so many Gallimimus, we've had so many human figures and all that stuff in the past, so we all have a pretty good idea of the size of these figures. But I did want to bring in an adult raptor here, the Extreme Damage raptor from Jurassic World Dominion, next to that juvenile raptor, just to kind of give you an idea as far as how the raptors size up next to each other. You can see, obviously, they're pretty big difference in size, but they do look pretty cool together. So this brand new Mattel Jurassic Park 93 Classic Alan Grant Tactical Claw Pack is phenomenal, and such a really cool way to dive into these smaller sets, because these sets, of course, we have taken a look at the Red Rex in the past, which is also phenomenal, but these smaller sets include so much as far as the extras go. You've got really cool capture gear, you have different weapons, you have extras on Alan, you also, of course, have a little baby juvenile there, Raptor. I don't know if you would consider that a baby or a juvenile, whatever. It's small, I know that much, but everything looks incredible, and you do get quite a bit of bang for your buck in these sets. Originally, I was like, I don't know why I forgot all these extras were included, but I'm thinking, a human figure around $8, a Gallimimus around $8, and then we've got a little raptor. I'm like, the $24 price range isn't really adding up to me, but now I see why it is that price, because you actually have a lot that comes with it. But everything, again, looks absolutely beautiful. The Alan Grant figure looks really nice, definitely. Pretty much like the usual Alan Grant figure looks, but they did obviously go a little bit more Jurassic Park toy line as far as the appearance and the clothing and everything for Alan. But really nice sculpt, really nice paint, nice articulation. Another really beautiful human figure from Mattel. I also quite like the Juvenile Raptor, even though he's not great and the eye paint on mine is messed up. He's still pretty cool. Definitely a nice little extra to be included and added in. And again, something that I kind of feel like I would have seen in the Kenner Jurassic Park line. And the paintwork of that is okay, nothing really to write home about, but considering he's just a really small little extra, it pretty much has the paintwork I would expect. On top of that, the Gallimimus is phenomenal. I really love this Gallimimus. I also love the fact that we don't really have any action features with this one, which isn't something we often see for this sculpt, and that's pretty cool just to have a straight up articulated figure like this, and the paintwork is great on it. Again, those classic Kenner tones, but it's also really nicely applied here by Mattel. It would have been cool to have a little more running out onto the tail, but it is still really nice looking regardless, and definitely a gorgeous ode to the old school Kenner Gallimimus, and the fact that we have the capture gear for that just really sends me over the moon with excitement, because I love that stuff. And then you also again have those kind of weapons that you can use to play or interact with your figures, which is always really fun. They work great, they look great, and they are also as nostalgic as it gets. So this set is an absolute win if you ask me, and pretty much a must-have if you are a Jurassic Park collector. So if you are interested, I will include a link in the description to where it is up for pre-order currently on Target's website. However, as you can see, they are showing up in store at Target, of course, prior to the pre-orders going through, because that's how Target works all the time. The stuff always shows up in store before the pre-orders go off. It's at this point like, why is there even a point in pre-ordering anymore? But I will include the link in the description because they should start to ship hopefully at some point soon. So if you are interested, check the link that I will include in the description and either pre-order it on Target's website, or of course you can head to your store and see if they are in stock. I believe the official date is like mid-April, but they have already begun showing up, so you have a chance now of picking them up if you do go. One way or another, absolutely recommend this set, so make sure you grab it and like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next review. Thanks for watching.